Well, let's cross live to Philadelphia in the swing state of Pennsylvania and speak to our correspondent, Adefemi Akinsoya. Adefemi, what can you tell us now that we understand that some couple of hours have gone into the polls?
Thank you very much. Definitely what I can tell you is that this is still going to be a fiercely contested election. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump again going head to head, and it is going to come down to the results in very key battleground states. That's why we're here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because we do know that Pennsylvania holds 19 electoral votes. It is incredibly significant. Whoever takes Pennsylvania is likely to take the presidency. So we have been speaking to as many people as possible, trying to gauge popularity for each candidate. And earlier today, when we were speaking in downtown Philadelphia, a lion's share of people did have many more positive things to say about Kamala Harris. However, I've just come across two gentlemen who have already casted their vote in today's election, and they have voted for a different candidate. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Adefemi, international correspondent with Arise News. This camera is transmitting all over the world, but directly to Abuja, Nigeria. Talk to us about your day today. Have you voted already? Who have you voted for?
Oh, yeah, I got up this morning and went and pulled the lever. Yeah, I voted for Donald Trump because, I mean, you know, he's the man that we already know in the past that make things happen for hardworking people in this country, you know, so why not do it again, you know?
Thank you for sharing that with us. You know, I wonder what your experience has been like as a black man, as this is not your first election. Is this your first time voting for Trump? It isn't, is it?
No, I voted for him in 2020 because I realized, you know, that a lot of stuff they were talking about with him were lies and stuff like that. And if you just pay attention, it's not hard to see through all that. You know, I mean, we've been through it for 4 years now. Actually, more than that, almost, you know, from 2016 on to now, you know, I mean, it doesn't take much to see through the BS, you know.
And then for you, how optimistic are you for his chances, not only in taking Pennsylvania, but across this entire election? Do you think that Donald Trump will be able to do enough to beat Kamala Harris?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you just look at all, like, when they're out and doing the rallies and stuff like that. I mean, he has tens of thousands of people at every rally, up into 100,000 right in Wildwood not too long ago this summer. You look at Kamala Harris, she's bussing people in. They're paying people to come in. She's got these celebrities and stuff that, you know what I mean? They fight for her because, you know, and that's all she can do. You know, it's, you know, but the people love Trump. I mean, I'm a working man. I've been working all my life. I understand hard work, and, you know, I have a retirement account and I have all that. I see what happened with it under the Trump years. You know what I mean? And then now I'm back to a measly little 3% under Biden. You know, I mean, what are you going to tell me?
So it does sound as though you're making a very informed decision. Sometimes when we speak to people who are in line with Trump, standing behind Trump, there is a narrative that perhaps they don't know what they're talking about. They aren't aware of the issues, but it does sound as though you're making a very informed decision. And you are behind Trump, and you believe that Trump is behind you as a black American man?
Right. I mean, I hear people all the time say, well, it's crazy, you know, but they never give you any concrete evidence why you shouldn't deal with him. I mean, you talk to anybody that likes Trump, they'll present numbers to you. They'll present their own, you know, their own personal thing. Like I just said, like my retirement. I mean, no one can tell me what it did. I know what it did under him, you know, and I know what it's doing not under him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for sharing your time with me. I hope you do get the result you're hoping for.
Yeah, Trump 2024, you know, all the way. Trump, you know, Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Philadelphia.
Have a great evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Well, back to you in the studio there. As you can see, it isn't often that we get to speak to people who speak quite candidly about their support for Trump. Earlier today, we did speak to a gentleman in downtown Philadelphia, and it did take him a few attempts before he felt comfortable enough to tell us that he had voted for Trump. That was clearly not the case there with those, but even though we only spoke to one gentleman, both gentlemen did say that they had voted for Trump, and they do seem to be making an informed decision, talking about what their retirement plans look like during the first Trump presidency, and they both seem quite confident that Trump will return as president this election.
Adefemi, it's very interesting. You just spoke to Suleiman's clone there on the streets of Philly. Well, now, with that, it does say something about black voter turnout and how things can actually play out in this election. I'd like you to address that very quickly. And of course, the Electoral College, 538 electors will decide the final outcome.
Definitely. Thank you, Ngozi. If we look at black voters, they are always going to be a considerable part of the electorate. And throughout this entire campaign, both candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, fought vehemently for the black vote. As it stands now, it's very easy to say, depending on what state, what people are likely to do. But as you always understand, such as the nature of elections, is that people can say anything beforehand, people can say anything otherhand. All we know for sure is what the numbers will say when these votes start to be counted. And then looking at the Electoral College, it's a somewhat complicated system, isn't it? Naturally, when we think of elections, we think of it along the lines of a popular vote. Whoever gets the most votes wins. But as we saw with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump all of those years ago, that doesn't actually form what happens in US politics, doesn't form what happens in this US election. What we are seeing here is both candidates are trying to get to 270 electoral college votes, and that comes down to very significant battleground states such as Pennsylvania. Here in Pennsylvania, 19 electoral college votes are up for grabs. So you can understand why both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump fought and campaigned very aggressively in Pennsylvania, in different states as well, Michigan too, Iowa, Arizona. And it does seem as though Kamala Harris, throughout a series of exit polls, did project her having a lead in Pennsylvania. And if you are on the streets of Philadelphia, you would think that Kamala Harris is more popular. But when you do move out and you speak to older voters, male voters, you will find more and more of them are hedging their bets behind Trump. So it's going to be a very, very close election. It is a close election, and we will be following the results every step of the way.
Well, Adefemi, we would like to thank you for your time. We know you're up all through, and we'll be coming back to you. And for all those watching, you can actually play catch-up on our website, arise.tv.